Hey, good morning YouTube. Today we're going to do a little something. I bought this, if anybody's been watching the videos, I bought this 99 F350 because it's a plow truck and I needed an extra. And the price was good. She's a little banged up on the outside, not really a big deal. Motor runs good. Put some new tires on it, and like I said, it's got a nice plow on it, so it'll be a good backup truck, or third. Today I'm going to do the front brakes. My guys were out on it the other day and said when they're stepping on the brakes they're getting a lot of noise up in the front, and so the pads are probably bad. I had the tires put on last week or 2 weeks ago, and when it was on the lift I looked at the front end and I didn't think the brakes were that bad. There was some stuff on the rotors, you know, some sort of, you know, like either gear oil or grease from the front, like maybe I got a bad seal on the front axle or something, so that might be the cause of the problem. So we're going to pull this wheel off today, take a look at it, see if we can't clean it up, see if we can't find out where the problem is, and if it is the brakes, we're going to replace the brakes. So first thing you're going to want to do is pop off that center cap. Big screwdriver or pry bar or something will pop that off, and then we'll take this wheel off and then I'll show you what's going on inside. Alright, I took the tire off and I can see now that the pads are shot. There's no meat on them at all. Got a little bit of rust on the rotors, but I think we're okay. So now there's two things you got to do. You can either pull off the entire caliper with the mounting bracket. That's these bolts back here, and they're 21 millimeter, just like the lug nuts. Or you can pull off just the caliper, and the pads will stay in here, and then you pop them out. And that is a 17 millimeter, and that's what I opted to do. So I'm going to pull this off real quick and throw it up here and show you what the pads look like. All right, pull the two bolts out, holding the caliper on. Now what you want to do is get the pry bar or screwdriver or something in here. I'm just going to pop this out. I'm going to put the camera down for a second so I don't drop it on the brake line and break it. So just hang on one second. Alright, took the caliper off, and it looks like we have a bigger problem than I thought. You can see this pad here is full. It's almost brand new. This pad in here is completely worn down. So I'm assuming we have a problem with the caliper. I'm going to pull off the caliper bracket now so I can get the rotor off and look at the back side of it to see if it's grooved up from that pad. But for right now we're just going to pull these pads out. Actually I can look at the rotor from then. So what you want to do is just take a screwdriver and just stick it in here and just pop it out of that cage. And if I keep dropping the light, I'm going to pop these out real quick and then we're going to take a look at them and see what's going on. So hang on. Well, here we go. Outside pad is completely shot. No meat left on it, right down to the rivets. Thank God the guys caught it quick enough because it didn't do any real damage to the inside of the rotor. Got a few little grooves in it, but not really anything. I might either just go have it turned or just put a new set of pads on it and call it a day, because it's not too bad. But anyways, look at the outside pad. It's still like new. So I don't know what causes that. Seized caliper? I'm not sure. So I'm gonna look at this real quick to figure out what happened here, and then I'm gonna go get new pads and we're gonna reinstall. So alright, so I got the caliper out and I pulled the pads out, and one of them shot. One of them's completely down to the rivets, and one of them's brand new. So that tells me that it's the sliders on the caliper bracket. These guys right here, they're supposed to slide in and out, and they're seized. So I'm going to pull this bracket off, stick it in the vise. We're going to heat this up and try to get these to move again. If they don't, looks like I'll be buying a new caliper. So I'll be back. All right, so I got the caliper bracket out, and the sliders were seized in there. So they were locked in there tight. Put that in the vise, heated this whole thing up, and was able to get it loose, slide them out, clean these up, and then I got a Dremel tool. I'm gonna clean the inside of these up a little bit, And then we're just gonna slather these up with Never Seize and jam it back together. Oh, and I gotta get, hopefully I can find new rubber boots, because the rubber boots tore when I pulled them off. These guys here. But anyways, pulled the rotor off. It's scratched on the back side, but you know, grooved a little bit, but not too horribly bad. So I'm just gonna put some pads on it and call it a day for the winter. The hub is bad. I had this locked a minute ago and it was making all sorts of crunchy noises, so I'm gonna pull this out, and I got some Warren hubs going in this, so that's for another time. So, all right, just got back from the auto parts store, went and bought a couple of boots, and oh geez, sorry, zooming. Bought some boots because I tore the other ones, and clean these out real good and put Never Seize or Anti-Seize in there. Now they slide back and forth real nicely. And I bought new pads. So we are ready to go. I'm going to reinstall this and show you in a second. Alright, we're all good. Put in the caliper bracket, and then made sure everything was all Never Seized up. Put in the new pads and jam the caliper home. And put everything back together, the wheel on it, take it out for a test drive, see what it's like. Well, as you can see by the empty garage, the test drive went well. Brakes worked fine, and I pulled it back in here and we put new ones on the other side. Same thing was wrong with that side too. The sliders were seized, so I fixed the sliders and put it all back together, and everything works. So I'll call that job complete. So if you want to, please subscribe and comment, and have a good day.